welcome to the Rusty Hook Kayak Fishing Podcast, a member of the Paddle and Fin Podcast Network. We're streaming live via Twitch, YouTube, and Facebook. Bringing you the latest in fishing tips, gear reviews with our friend from Payne Outdoors, Chris Payne, as well as some local and regional tournament news. We'll bring you on some special guests to talk kayak fishing. Now, let's join John Rapp, your host. All right, guys. Hey, welcome to the Rusty Hook Kayak Fishing Podcast. It's John Rapp. I thought I would Season 2, Episode 40. So much information to go over. Just had our final tournament of the year with the West Virginia Kayak Anglers, and it was a pretty epic event. The food was outstanding. The venue was great. The weather tried to be nice to us on day one and did not cooperate with the guys who fished day two. Got to take my beautiful wife up to Jackson County with me. Had a good time. Greg Kupfner always does a great job with the events. And speaking of Greg Kupfner, he is who we're going to bring on the show. So hey, while I'm thinking of it, make sure you go like, just like Tommy Covey did. What's up, my brother? Share and follow this show so you know when everything comes online and you can jump on and be interactive with us. This is not just me talk to you. This is us interacting so we can talk about all things kayak fishing. I see we have Kate McNaughton on. I'm not sure what platform she's on, but Facebook. Thank you, Kate. Michael Rodner, what's up, my friend? So, guys, Tommy Covey, what's up? Thanks for chatting with us. So I'm going to jump on here, and I'm going to call up Greg and get him on the show. So let's do that, okay? We got some good information we want to share. I feel privileged that Greg allowed me to make the announcements here. What's up, my friend?
Hey, not much, man. How are you?
Good, brother. So, man, what a weekend. And congratulations on another great year. Johnny Cart, Kate, how y'all doing? Greg, hell of an event you ran this year. Hell of a tournament this past weekend. And congratulations on your second place finish there, buddy.
Yeah, thanks, man.
Hey, man, dude. Man, I mean, what a year. You put on some great events. And so when we've been chatting the past few days, and we had 136 members this year. Mm-hmm. Pretty active group. Like we've had over the last 5 years, we've had at least a third to more, almost 2/5 of our membership come to our tournaments. So we had a pretty good turnout.
Yeah, and I think, gas prices being super high this year, it affected everybody across the state.
Yeah.
I mean, when gas is $5 a gallon, it's hard to travel a little bit, so we get that.
And it's really nice that when we do travel, that we get free camping when you set it up, and we get a hell of a good barbecue meal when you set it up. But man, hey, we put together a list for those people out there, those 136 members. We had a hell of a group that fished, and me and you played around with it last night. We put a video together of our top 20. Have they been told yet? Have we released anything?
No, I haven't released any of that stuff since I knew I was coming on with you tonight, so we could I wanted to double check, make sure we had everything set up correctly too. So it all looks good. Video you put together looks real good. So they're going to be seeing that for the first time.
Excellent, man. So let me pull this up. This is the video that me and Greg, we wanted to share with you guys, and just it's a little recognition for all of the hard work. I mean, when you have 136 folks that join a club, they come out and fish, when you can finish in the top 20, which is just a few of you are just out of the top 10%, you're doing pretty damn good. So congratulations to the top 20. And again, you guys in the top 20, you'll probably hear something from Greg regarding two things here in the very near future. One is at minimum 12 of you will represent WVKA at the state championship, and two, all 20 of you will probably be invited to the gold event. It's the premier WVKA event of the year, $125 buy-in, $2,000 payout, 25 folks, 48-hour notice to where we go. It's a hell of a good event, and guys, y'all need to be excited about that. These next two tournaments could make you pretty well infamous in the state.
For sure.
Yeah, definitely. So hey, Greg, drum rolls.
All right, yeah, let's.
Yeah, Marty Jane. Congratulations, Brandy. Old Jack Gillespie made it in, squeezed in.
Never hear the end of that one now, will you?
No. Oh, Anthony. Reuben Bland. I had to reach out to him and find out where he's from. He's a Morgantown boy.
Mm-hmm.
There's our boy Jerry. Oh, Bun. That's outstanding. Thank you, Marty Jane. Greg King squeezed in. There's Mikey. And there's Ricky. 12th place. Johnny Cart. I mean, I'm really happy to see that man do well after the issues he had in the early last.
Absolutely.
And there's Rick. And here we start reaching into the top 10. Man, we have some hammers in this club, I tell you.
Absolutely.
There's an up-and-coming young man right there, Evan Adamson. And
Hot Rod Johnson.
there, Sierra came out of nowhere and stormed her little brother. And then there's my boy Greg finishing 4th. Hell of a year, buddy.
Thank you.
And Joe Farson he snuck around. He stayed in there. These two guys,
Yeah.
Buddy Vance was 2nd place a couple years ago. He's got to break that ceiling. And then here he is, 2-time Angler of the Year, Mark Edwards. Congratulations, guys. Man, Greg, I mean, you put on a hell of a show, man. You got a bunch of good anglers show up.
It's a lot of work, but just see everybody, like we had that dinner there the other night, everybody having a good time. That's really what it's all about. We can all get together, have a good time, and friendly competition is always a bonus. And if you could put a few bucks in your pocket, which you're not going to get rich fish in our club, I think everybody knows that.
No.
And that's not what it's about. It's about just getting together. And I wish we could do a little bit more of it as far as that goes. But we all have lives and families and work and all that good stuff. But we try to do a good job of getting everybody together and on the same page and just hanging out and having a good time. That's really what WVKA is about.
Amen, man. That's what we started 5 years ago. 6 years, get ready to start year 6. So, guys, I can tell you, I'm speaking for Greg. Year 6 is coming. If you're going to be involved with the club, the man can use all the help he can get. Dedicate your time. Dedicate a year to help him run the events. We'll probably have 5 or 6 events again all over the nation. A gold event, another state championship, online challenges. It's a bear to do, and that's just the little things because you got to go set up venues, you got to contact sponsors. It's a lot of work, and Greg, I applaud you for everything you do, and thank you from the bottom of my heart because you took it from me, and I am so happy.
No problem, man. I enjoy it, but yeah, all the help I can get. I've had a lot of help this year. A lot of guys reach out, help me with setting up venues, setting up some things. So that's much appreciated.
Yeah, and I'm not slighting anybody. I'm just saying, starting for next year, new blood,
yeah,
new help.
Trust me, I won't turn away any help. That's for sure.
Yeah, definitely. I know what you mean. So again,
I know, like Mikey Holcomb has been a big help with that online stuff. He's done a lot of the judging of fish there.
Yeah.
Just takes that takes by itself some time. So big shout out to Mikey for helping on that online stuff.
Yeah, Mikey Holcomb. And guys, the one of the things that like I posted on my page, I didn't do well at the end of the year, but I still made it to the events, and it's partially because I want to see everybody. I want to be able to hang out, chat, catch up where I haven't been able to see. Facebook is great, but it ain't one-on-one interaction. And
absolutely, sitting around a campfire and
watching Marshall get their rear end whooped on the TV by the campfire. I mean, you can't beat it, man. I mean, but Greg, appreciate you taking a few minutes to jump online.
Hey, no problem. One thing I wanted to do is give a shout out to Sierra Backus. She is not only your Rookie of the Year, she is also your Female Angler of the Year from WVKA.
Yes.
I want to go ahead and get that out there too, because those are two things that I had to do, and they both go to her. So congrats, Sierra.
Sierra, you killed it. Her first event was a KBF event back in February, and she really did well down there with her.
Heck of a year.
And you know what? I always enjoyed just ribbing Storm when Sierra would pound him out there.
Oh, always.
And what was it? 6 points between her and Storm at the end of the year. I mean, so she put the pressure on little brother all year, and it was just outstanding. So Sierra,
well.
yeah, Sierra, see you on here. I hope you didn't mind the photograph that I used on our video. If you get a chance, go back and look at it. And if you didn't like it, I know you'll let me know later when you give me a good pounding. So, guys,
I also have that schedule ready to go out for 2023 here, probably beginning of next week.
Sounds good. Sounds good. If you need any help on that, just give a shout, and we'll go from there.
All right, John. I appreciate it, buddy.
Appreciate you, man. All right, that's our boy Greg Kupfner. Let's take a quick break, and then we'll dial up our boy Mark Edwards.
Yak Gadget.
Thanks, Greg.
Proudly supplying
Yeah,
you
buddy, see ya.
with American-made products and gear. Check out yakgadget.com. Ace Resort, West Virginia's #1 destination for whitewater, hiking, ziplining, and more. Check out aceraft.com. Westbrook Supply Co, Georgia's #1 go-to kayak fishing supply store. Gear, accessories, and custom rigging. Look them up, westbrooksupplyco.com. Payne Outdoors, a custom plastic maker, design consultant, product reviewer, and outdoor writer. Check out more at payneoutdoors.com. Feelfree Kayaks. Paddle, pedal, or power, there's something for everyone. Check out feelfreeus.com.
Okay, we're back. I'm just checking out of the chat here. We got about 10 people online. Mike, Kate, Mark, Marty Joe, Heath, Sierra, Michael, Tommy, Jason West, Johnny Cart, and appreciate all y'all online. Hit that like button, type in some chat. Now we're going to reach out to one hell of an angler. And we just got off with Greg. And Greg, thanks for liking the show. Thanks for being a part of the show and being one hell of a good friend. You're a hell of a man. I can't say enough good things about you. But Mark Edwards. Now, guys, he has been a frequent visitor to the show. The man is a straight up stick, a wealth of knowledge. He is made from the same mold as our second guest when we bring on Jody Queen. And what I mean by that is Mark, he will talk to you. He will share tips with you. One hell of a good angler. And since he's come over to the kayak fishing world about 5 years ago, the dude has just ran rampant over the state scene. We've watched him go to the very first Bass Nation event and go up on the podium and finish second. Just got squeezed out. So let's bring Marky Mark on and see what he has to say about his second Angler of the Year performance. Make sure I'm calling the right guy. Yeah, Mark. So Mark's second appearance of the year. Hey, I mean, I was just blowing your head up. No wonder it don't fit my screen because I was talking so good about you, man. So, yeah, hey, Mark, brother, like I said to the folks out there, you've been a contributor to this podcast almost from day one. You've come on anytime I've asked you to. You go to the Paddle and Fin podcast guys. You talk with them. You're always sharing knowledge. You don't only share knowledge here on the computer or over on the web, but when a guy's pulling up beside you and chatting, you're a wealth of knowledge there. Blaine Winters is saying, "What's up, champ?" So your partner in crime is online. He's saluting you, brother. I'm gonna stop talking. I'm gonna stop blowing your head up, and I want you to tell everybody what you did to be so successful all year, to stay so at a high level. What are the little things that you did to be our two-time Angler of the Year in our short 5-year existence?
The main thing is I pray a lot and keep an open mind. And I always got to get bites. I don't feel comfortable if I'm not getting bites. So if I'm not getting bites, I'll switch up. Just changing up a lot till I get bites. And because every day is a different day, what they're hitting and stuff. So I just try to figure out what they're doing that day. The worst thing is like a place like we fished last week, where I have no experience this year, but I have a lot of experience from previous years. And you're fishing the past, and then not fishing the moment sort of deal. So I'm using the same baits I've caught them in the past. And I was struggling. I really struggled. I mean, I finished fourth, but I struggled. I mean, I only got maybe 7 fish a day or something.
Right. It's not normal for you. You're a 20-plus man, aren't you?
Yeah, I like catching a lot of fish. I mean, I know size wins it, but I mean, I still like catching fish. So, and usually in a place like we fished last week, usually if you just get enough bites, you'll eventually catch some big ones.
Oh yeah, yeah. So what was your big for day one?
15 3/4.
And
not very big.
And so, but when I ran into you back up in that waterways that we were into the first day, that's what you told me. You said, "Hey, this area back here is good for the 14, 15, 16-inch fish. It'll get you your 5." And that's all. And I said, "Well, you might not win it the first day, but you can definitely lose it." And
yeah,
you went back there, you snagged some fish, and then you took out. And guys, I'm gonna tell you, like I said about 3 minutes ago, Mark is great for information because he was coming out as I was going in, and he's like, "Hey man, make sure you go back here and work in brush piles. I caught a couple fish back there." And I'm like, "Okay." And if you go look at my Facebook page, I didn't have a great day. I lost fish. I lost a fish on the board, a 16-inch fish, and then I had a fish DQ'd. But I did pull out of one of those brush piles a huge 19 1/4-inch largie. She was big, she was fat, and she was aggressive. And I mean, I would have probably fished it, but you pointed me there. You said, "Hey, don't forget to hit those piles back there," and I did. So you're great for information, and that's one of the things that I adore about you, and I think everybody in our club loves about you and Jody Queen is you love to be successful, but you love to watch other people catch fish as well.
Yeah, I like helping out. It makes you feel good that somebody's listened, And you were throwing something a little different than what I did. I mean, I got a power pole now, and I really like the power pole. I haven't, usually you float around with the wind and stuff. And I power poled up there at them trees, and I flipped them like for an hour or something and caught 2 fish. But I knew that's the only thing I threw was a jig. I just tore it apart with a jig. And you went up there right behind me and still pulled out, 2 fish. And better fish than what I caught. Yeah, I caught a 14 and a 15 up there or something.
Yeah, I caught a 16, which I lost it off the boat trying to get the photograph, being an idiot. And then I caught a 19 1/4, and then as I was coming out, I caught that 12-inch that dummy me, when it was jumping around on the board, and I had my camera up, and I slid my fingers down to hold it down, and I touched the tail. So I got that. I only took the 2 photographs, threw it back in the water because it was getting late, and I wanted to get some more, and I got that fish DQ'd. So you would think, guys been doing this 8 years, 9 years. You still make mistakes. You got to be mentally in the game.
It's everything mentally. Yeah,
Yes.
you're correct. Because the second day I caught last week, there was a different club tournament up here, and I caught a lot of fish off a spinnerbait, and it's one that I custom kind of made. It was like, it's one brand, and I switched blades on it and all this stuff. Anyway, I've been catching a lot of fish on that one spinnerbait, and last week it caught my 2 biggest fish, and the first day I caught 2 or 3 keepers on it. And the second day, I caught one 5th cast, I think. And then I got hung up yesterday morning or Sunday morning a few times. You're anxious and you're not making good cast, and I kept jerking it out of the tree, jerking around, and didn't check my line. And then I threw up the tree again, and the line broke there, went to spinnerbait. So I tried like 2 different spinnerbaits for the next 2 hours and never had a bite. And so that little mentally stuff, you got to stay with it with everything. Your pictures, measuring, got to have your ID. I mean, there's so much things can go wrong.
So guys,
my biggest fish this year was in a Bassmaster event at Lake Fork. And, I was all excited, not much time left in the tournament, took a picture fast, and that fish just I barely made it, you know what I'm saying? And I didn't look. It's just something we do. We take for granted, I guess.
Yeah, and that's what I did. I slid my fingers right down there, holding that fish down because it was flopping around. Just lost that fish a little earlier, so it made me a little nervous. Held it down, grabbed my camera, slid my hand down her side, and had actually it was my middle finger. The other finger was okay. It was just a snap, and boom. I'm like, when I looked at it when I was submitting it, I'm like, oh man, why did I do that? So yeah, you got to be in the game mentally. You need to have a good routine. You need to take your time.
Yeah.
And
that's a good tip, having the same routine. You know what I'm saying? And then when you mess up when you don't do the same thing you have been doing.
That was my whole second half of the year. I broke some routines, and I got to refocus, regroup for next year so I can be out there battling with you, Big Daddy. I'm showing everybody out here, guys. If you're looking at the stream, we got Marky Mark right there. He's at Jackson County, and what he's wearing there is his Angler of the Year belt. Angler of the Year belt. And if you're looking at him on the big screen here, he's got it right there over his shoulder, hanging up on his display, his Angler of the Year trophy, man. So yeah, 2-time winner, man. I'm tickled to death for you. I know it feels good. So tell us what you got planned for the rest of the year.
Oh man, that's busy. Right now it's really busy. Southwest Virginia Kayak Angler, we have our championship this weekend. And Jason, he waited till the week before the tournament and drew out where we're fishing 2 days. It's going to be Stonewall and Burnsville. Then I go to work. Sunday's the last day of the tournament. I work 12 hours Monday. I leave to go to Bassmasters Tuesday in Pickwick. Fish all week down there, and I'm in second place in Angler Year in that. But it's going to be tough to win it. I mean, I'm going to need some help from another guy or two. They're going to have to hiccup a little bit, and I'm going to have to do really well. But I'm looking forward to it. It's got all 3 species of fish, and it's fall time of year in the South is really tough fishing, so anything can happen.
Yeah.
And then after that, I think we had the best of the best, right? The top 12 in each club.
Right.
The week after that, maybe. So.
And we got the gold event too coming up too.
The gold event's the same weekend I'll be gone.
Okay.
I think.
Okay.
Yeah, I think that's the Pickwick weekend I'll be gone. Yeah.
Okay. Well, man, we wish you the best, and congratulations on a heck of a year.
Thank you. Yeah, everything went right. I mean, sometimes it goes that way, and then, I mean, it just happened to be every time in our club, this club that I've done really well in. And I think a lot of it is like every time Greg had a tournament, it rained.
Yeah.
You know, it rained both days this weekend, you know. It was like every tournament it rained, and a spinnerbait was really the key this year for me having a real good year.
I think the
It's
only
the
tournament
bait that I've caught more big fish on, I guess.
was the only tournament that it didn't rain. I didn't go to was the South Branch, wasn't it? Jive Club?
Yeah, I think it didn't rain at the South Branch, but it rained like a day before or something. But
Well, buddy, nothing but love for you. We wish you the best, and we will bring you back on to recap your year and see how you finish everything out.
all right, sounds good.
Final thoughts, bro. Any words of wisdom?
Words of wisdom. Just never give up, man. Just stay at it and always learning. I mean, a lot of new people are like maybe intimidated by people like I mean, Jody. I mean, Jody is
like you and Jody.
people that fish a lot, you know, and do well. You get intimidated a little bit, but you got to see that we're always learning too. You know, I mean, it's everybody's always learning, and the thing about fishing, it's always changing.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, the baits that I've caught some really big fish off from last year up at O'Brien didn't work this week. Didn't work at all because my biggest fish in 2 days was an 18-incher, which I lost another one that was about 18 inches the first day. But so yeah, and really, almost everybody there had one over 18 inches.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, honestly, everybody had a real big fish.
We were talking
A
about
lot of guys.
Greg and I were
A lot of
talking
guys
about
just
that.
it's hard to get that average.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
There was 10 fish the first day over 19 inches.
Wow, that's impressive.
Yeah. Out of the 30.
And this time of year, I mean, it's tough fishing this time of year.
So awesome, man. Hey, get you some rest. I know you're going to be busy. You know, get fueled up, get your bags packed, all your lines changed. I know you got the 25 poles that you carry with you everywhere you go. So get them respooled.
I honestly, man, everybody re-spools and stuff, and I've broken. I don't reline a lot. I use mono. I use a lot of monofilament, and it outlasts fluorocarbon 5 times. Fluorocarbon. But
Johnny
what are you
Carter.
looking at?
Jonathan Carter.
Oh, okay. I seen you looking there.
He's like, not me. My biggest catch Sunday was a Michelob Ultra can. God, that's a good one, Johnny. Hey, man, nothing. Be blessed. Thank you again, and wish you the best.
All right, thanks, John.
All right, guys, that was Mark Edwards.
Proudly.
That was Mark Edwards. We're gonna take a break, and then we're gonna call up Jody Queen, see what he has to say. The man's been killing us here the past few tournaments. He's been coming on and to the West Virginia Kayak Angler events to tune up for his nationwide events. He's been taking our money, but we love him and we want him to do well. So anything we can do to tune him up, we're going to do it. But let's take a quick break, and then we're going to bring him on and see what he has to say about what he did up there to win that tournament.
Yak Gadget, proudly supplying you with American-made products and gear. Check out yakgadget.com. Ace Resort, West Virginia's #1 destination for whitewater, hiking, ziplining, and more. Check out aceraft.com. Westbrook Supply Co, Georgia's #1 go-to kayak fishing supply store. Gear, accessories, and custom rigging. Look them up, westbrooksupplyco.com. Payne Outdoors is a custom plastic maker, design consultant, product reviewer, and outdoor writer. Check out more at payneoutdoors.com. Feelfree Kayaks. Paddle, pedal, or power, there's something for everyone. Check out feelfreeus.com.
All right, guys, we're back. Take a moment, hit that like button, share, comment, hit them comments. Bring those comments in. Tell us what you think. We want to keep this show interactive. We've been on almost 32 minutes. We got 9 viewers here now. Heath Mullins, Blaine, Greg, Michael, Johnny, old Johnny. But I'm glad you did so well this year after your scare this winter. I'm glad you're doing better, feeling better. So hey, let's do it. Let's get back to this screen here. Let's call my boy Jody. Maybe we can get him to play a little ditty on his guitar for us. Oh, there he is.
What's up, buddy?
Oh, wow. Hey, you know what? Just as I was calling you, I said maybe we could get you to play us a little ditty on your guitar, but you're going to do one better. It looks like you got the banjo out.
Yeah, it's what I'm working on.
Oh, excellent, buddy. Well, you know, I'm just going to shut up and let you go. Let it rip.
Yeah, I can play. I can't play a banjo very well.
Outstanding, brother. Man, you killing it. Don't tell me you can't play. I'm going to send this video to the Grand Ole Opry and get you on the big stage. Hey, man, so tell us what's going on with you.
Oh man, I've been working on banjos for 2 days. Trying to get this is my dad's old banjo, and he left it to me when he died. And it's not been playable for a long time. I'm trying to find a place to set my phone here. Hang on a second.
Oh, no worries, buddy. You take care of it.
Uh-oh.
So you must be in the apartment, not back in the office, huh?
Yeah, I'm out over in the apartment today. I've been working on, like I say, been working on some instruments and trying to get them in tune and playable.
Outstanding, man. Hey, guys, you 10 people, show us some love. Show Jody some love. Give us a thumbs up for that excellent little ditty he just played for us. And while that's going on,
very good.
Oh no,
I
but
don't know if it's worth a thumbs up or not.
No, it was definitely worth it. So, but hey,
I wasn't expecting to be going live right off the bat. You caught me off guard there.
Well, you know that's what I try to do, brother. I try to catch you raw, live, and unfiltered. You know.
I know, right?
Hey, so brother, tell us. You know, the last 2 WVKA events, you've stormed in and took our money. You've ate our food.
Yeah, you're making me feel bad.
Hey, Brian Perry, thank you, buddy. So, Jody, no, man, no, don't feel bad. We want you to come in because we know you're a wealth of knowledge. You're here to help us grow the sport.
Yeah.
And like you told me on my video out there when we were on the water together Saturday morning, you say, hey, you saw it the last minute and you thought, well, I will go fishing. It's a tune-up for your next tournament. So.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's good to stay, fresh. But I tell you, man, I really miss fishing local. I miss the guys here in West Virginia and all the guys in WVKA, and I got friends in Southwest Virginia, Kayak Anglers and MSKA. I just miss everybody, man. It's where I cut my teeth, in those clubs, and I'm on the road so much I never get to see anybody. And there was a lot of friendships that I made there, and some that I got started and never got to, expound on. And it's just good to see everybody again.
Well,
I love fishing local.
We're definitely glad that you could come fish with us. We love seeing you, and
Well, I love being there.
We definitely need to get you around the campground with some of your musical instruments. But I mean,
I need to grab my brothers, man, to come up. I mean, we get on those bluegrass kicks. We play for hours and hours and hours.
Yeah, I mean, I can remember when we were down in Fry's there, 7-8 years ago at the camp there along the river, and you were out there playing until you went to bed.
I like to pluck around on it a little bit.
Oh, I love it, man. It sounds great. So, hey, talk to us about how and what you did Saturday. I know you went up the riverside Saturday first. You was coming out. We sat there and we were talking, and then as soon as we parted, not even a minute after we parted, I hear splashing, and you look like a 16 or 17 inch fish down there. So tell us about your day.
Yeah, I mean, what I figured out was that those fish were just, if they weren't real far back in the junk, they were laying up really tight and stuff. And if you remember where we were sitting, there was a stump that was almost completely out of the water. It wasn't the one that was underwater. It was the one up on the bank there. And I had missed a 16-incher there earlier. It might have been the same fish I caught. It was a 16.75, but I was dropping that stuff right up against the stump and just letting it rape the side all the way down. I mean, they were that tight to that stuff. And I caught that one, and I had 2 16s get off on me on Saturday that would have put me in the 80s, but I just didn't fish clean. It's important to fish clean.
Oh, trust me.
But I was out of position when those fish hit. I'll tell you what the problem is, and some people might have the same problem. Get in a hurry, and you're going by a piece of cover like that, and you're kind of on your way to something else, and you just kind of toss out, and the line gets behind you, and you ain't expecting that hit, and you get by. Whenever you're fishing a piece of cover like that, it's best to just go ahead and devote the time to it, get in a good position where you can set that hook and get that fish out of there, because you never know what's laying in there. I mean, there could have been a 20 in there, not a 16.
Right.
And so that day was kind of a figuring out thing, and once I got them figured out how they were laying in there, it was just covering water and trying to find those special sweet spots where they were laying. They were spread out. They weren't on every piece of cover that I could find. They were really spread out. So I did have to cover some water that day.
Now, did you find that same pattern to be accurate for Sunday, or did it change with the wind and rain?
No, it was. I used the same pattern. I slowed down a little bit more. On Saturday, I was moving a little bit faster, and I didn't get as many bites. I only caught 6 fish Saturday, and on Sunday, I just made myself slow down because I knew they were really pressured from the day before. I could tell that they were really pressured, so I just slowed down a little bit and really started working that cut real tight. Those fish, they'll nose right up on something like that. I caught a fish on a flat down there. Marky went by me. It was really funny. Marky went by me and he said, "What are you doing?" He said, "There's no water over there." Because I was sitting, my fins on my Hobie were folded up and I was still on the bottom.
Oh, yeah.
I was having to push, I had to raise my motor up, and I was throwing way back in the bank in about that much water. But what happens is, in that situation, on those flats like that, if you got a lot of wood cover laying on those flats, those fish they'll eat out a little place underneath them. And even though the log looks like it's laying in that much water, there's about that much water under some part of that cover. And if you can find that kind of cover, a lot of times they'll just be laying and hiding in them holes. You'd be surprised how shallow those fish will get.
Yeah, I can see that. So when you caught those fish over there, were you throwing your infamous casting rods with your chatterbait, or were you throwing some top water?
No, I was catching those fish. I only caught on Sunday. I only caught one fish on a chatterbait. I heard the chatterbait bite was on pretty good on Elk Fork over there, but I didn't do that good on moving baits on O'Brien. I was throwing a Mac Fatty Z.
Yeah.
The other thing I throw.
Yeah.
But, I mean, you never know that I know how to throw any other bait, so it's kind of embarrassing. But if it ain't broke, don't fix it. So, I catch fish on those almost everywhere I go. I mean, I might have to switch it out a little bit and throw some top water sometimes, but those two baits, if I'm catching fish on them, that's what I'm going to be throwing.
Well, those 30-some first-place trophies you have upstairs in your office can attest to your style of fishing, my friend.
Yeah, I really most of those first trophies. Man, I used to fish a jig a lot, and I was talking to Bill Tallman up there, and he was catching his fish off a jig, and he caught that 21 up there on a jig, you know. And I had a jig with me tied on the boat there, and I threw it a few times, but my confidence was in something else. And, you know, I mean, no matter what somebody else is throwing, you got to kind of follow your, you know, what you feel comfortable throwing. If you're getting bites on it, then there's no sense in changing it.
Well, that's one of the things that always sticks in my head is something you told me 7-8 years ago was this time of year you can't go wrong throwing black and blue. Black and blue,
Yeah.
because, you know, in the way you put it, is all the bees, all the hornets, all the wasps falling in the water.
Yeah.
So, and
All dark colors.
Yeah.
You know, my spinnerbait skirts, when I'm fishing that muddy water, they look just like a big giant wasp, or they're black and browns on my spinnerbait skirts, and usually throwing big Colorado blade spinnerbaits, and all my jigs are black and blue. The crawdad, the crayfish get really dark this time of year, and they start getting that blackish look to them. They're getting later on in the season, and a lot of times those darker colors like the black and blue do real well in this time of the year. Black and blue jigs. You know, it's a good color to throw this time of year. Now, they should start schooling up. One thing I noticed up there at O'Brien, I didn't see a lot of fish schooling. I didn't see on my sonar, I could see, you know, some bait balls every now and then, but nothing was pushing those fish to the those bait balls to the surface, and they just really wasn't actively pushing that bait around. So that's the reason why I kind of stayed close to the banks and kept fishing those shallow areas.
Well, that's one of the reasons I went back in that direction on Saturday. Is you know, I'd never been back in there, but I was sort of hoping that the big fish were pushing fish back in there, where they would keep them in small, skinny water, and they could really be aggressive to them. And I didn't see a lot of action. I wasn't running sonar like you guys were. Let's see what Mark just said. Mark said, I tossed 3 different spinner baits, chatter baits, jig, shaky head, 2 different crankmakes, drop shot, and swim baits. So, yeah, he's right there with you when it comes to the spinner baits as well. So,
yeah. Well, the problem with up there where we was at the other day, John, is that place, it takes a long time to reload after it gets fished. Most creeks do. They're not like lakes, like big points where fish will move in and move off and move in and move off. Those fish up in there, they tend to, you get up there and you catch them, they go back to where you caught them from, and then they just don't hit again. It takes a while for them to reload. And it usually takes a weather event or something like that to get those fish moving again and get other fish up in there and get them to reload. But they're good places to go if you get in them early. You know, on Sunday, I never caught anything in that creek except I caught that 120 up there. I caught it about midway that rock bank up there, and it was the only fish that I caught up there that day. And when I caught it and I hadn't caught anything else, I peeled and come out of there and started fishing more toward the main lake.
So Jody, what do you got planned for the next few weeks?
I'm getting ready right now. Just got the house today for the KBF National Championship. That's my next big one, and I'm looking forward to it. It's on Kentucky Lake, which has been pretty good to me in the past. I've won about 3 or 4 tournaments on that lake. And it's been real good to me. So I'm kind of looking forward to that. And after that, I'll have the TOC on Caddo, which is Caddo's another lake I really look forward to fishing every year. So I'm feeling pretty good about the next couple championships. So I hope it plays out good in my favor. If it don't, it don't. But I hope it does.
Well, I'm showing the guys while you're talking here your 2 different Facebook pages. Of course, your personal page, guys, and make sure you go check out his Facebook page here. It's Jody Queen Fishing. He's got 2.6K followers. If you haven't already liked Jody's page, go like it. He puts a lot of stuff on there that you can use and learn from, and you can follow along with him in his adventures out there on the water. As you can see, his last post, he's got up there, he's bragging about how he smacked us boys around up at Jackson County. And
Yeah, I'm not much of a bragger. You can tell that.
oh, I know, brother. I just
You
messing
can tell
with
that by my post. But
hey,
I got a YouTube channel too. It's Jody Queen Fishing. If you guys, I've slowed down. I took about a month off of Facebook, so I haven't put any content up in the last month. But there's a lot of stuff there with tips. I love sharing my, fishing tactics with everybody, and I want everybody to catch fish. So
there's no
it's
doubt
a good
about
place
that.
to go if you want some information on how I fish, and then you can take it and make it your own.
Hey, we appreciate that too, man, because that's the one thing that I can brag about you, Mark, and some of our top sticks in West Virginia is that you guys are not bashful about sharing techniques. You want everybody to be successful, everybody get better, because I guess in your minds, and I know in mine, it pushes you to keep learning and keep getting better, so you can do better on the national stage. So.
It does. It prepares you for. I mean, I'll tell you. I'll be honest, and I've said this a lot. The fishing in West Virginia can be really tough, and that's why when you get the anglers from West Virginia, if you notice when they go to these big lakes, and all of a sudden, everybody that's used to fishing them and catching lots of fish out of them, and they're stuck because they're not catching anything. They're just saying, "Oh, the bite's off." People from West Virginia do really well in those tournaments, because they're used to those tough conditions. And I mean, it blows me away how many good sticks there are in our area here in our state.
Yeah, we've had a few people be very successful. We really have.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just like, well, you look at the Philip and Sierra. Sierra's very first tournament goes down and catches limits. She had a heck of a year. She's going to be if she sticks to it, and I'm sure Philip will keep her out there, she could be a force to reckon with out there.
Oh yeah, Philip's no slouch, dude.
That whole crew.
I mean, she falls. Yeah, I mean, and I'm sure he shares everything with her. Yeah, she does good. I think she's a lot better than she gives herself credit for.
Agreed.
Well,
my friend, we wish you well on your upcoming tournaments. If you need any information on Kentucky Lake, give me a call. I got a few spots I can send you to, and they're creeks, but I won't be there, so I don't mind sharing. But I know.
Are you going to be fishing it?
No, I've got a couple trips planned up with me and Beth that we're going to be making, and I think we'll probably be in the Bahamas when you're in Kentucky Lake. So.
Oh, that's right. I remember you saying something about that. I forgot about that. Yeah, you guys are going to have a great time, man.
Yeah,
it was good to see Beth the other day. Tell her I said howdy again.
I sure will. I'm really glad that she made the trip. She needed to get out of the house and get back in with our group. I need to get her back out on the water, but she's been off for so long. It's hard to get her back out. So, Michael Ridenauer, Jody. Michael said he will be down there with you. So you got Mikey Ridenauer coming down. Well, guys,
good deal, Mikey.
God bless you, brother, and I wish you the best as usual. And
thank you, John.
Hey, man, like we did a few weeks ago, you want to tell them about the museum and what you guys got coming up for Halloween before we log off?
Well, the museum is the one thing by museum. It's a lot of local history in there. It's run by John Velke, who is a descendant of the Baldwin Phelps Detective Agency, and he's got a lot of neat stuff in there about that. But it's also local history about the Indians that inhabited the area. Just a lot of neat stuff down there. And of course, the gallery is open on Saturdays right now. I guess, are we getting ready to close down? End of October will be the last weekend that we're going to be open until April probably. So you need to get down and see that. We got a new show hanging up down there. Just went in Saturday. That's really cool. One of our local artists, Nick Nisbet, is down there. Just come on, man. This place is so crazy. I mean, you can walk through here. I'll give you a tour if I'm here. I mean, you can't see everything all at once. it's just something you really got to see. I mean, there's something for everybody here. It's just really crazy. You got a lot of neat stuff here.
Well, we were talking about that, Jody. When does the video shoot come out? When the guys were down at the house with you for a few days?
Yeah.
When will we see that out?
They're hoping to get that stuff edited. We got so much footage that, I mean, I talked to one of the film guys, and he said that there's probably going to make one for Z-Man and then just do separate spots just to put out, because we got so much footage, and they were blown away by this place. But they're talking maybe late November, December.
Look forward to it, man.
Before they get that out.
Make sure you let us know so we can share it here and we can share it on the WVKA page.
I sure will. I appreciate that.
Hey, man, nothing but love for you. Miss Queen in the background.
Same back at you, bro. Yeah. Is that Vicky back there?
You guys take care and be blessed, and I appreciate you taking a few minutes to jump on the show with us.
Yes, sir. Anytime. Love being here, buddy.
I appreciate you, man.
Bye, everybody.
That was the total package, Jody Queen, who visited us one more time here on the Rusty Hook. I hope we can keep bringing him back on. But make sure you check us out the next few weeks. We've got coming up, we've got a Halloween show that we're going to do, like we've done last year, the Stream-A-Ween. We'll have a cast of characters come on, and hopefully you'll have to figure out who they are, because we're going to be masked up. And anybody would like to participate in the Stream-A-Ween here at Rusty Hook, let me know, and we'll get you on. Johnny, Sierra, Marky, Greg, Stormy, nothing but love for all of you. Appreciate you coming on. Mikey. Now, Mikey, you got a good-looking boy there that was with you at the campground this weekend. He's a good-looking, good young man. You're doing right there, buddy. But anyway, we're going to log off here. Chris Payne, normally who would be on the show, had to work late again tonight. He sent me a message. I guess they got some stuff going on there where he works in the medical field. He could be busy for the next few weeks, so hopefully we can get him on when we can. If not, he will be back, so make sure y'all send him a message. And check out his store for his newest products. But anyway, all I can say is, WVKA guys, you rock. You had a hell of a year. Congratulations to all of you. The top 20 that we showed here at the beginning of the show. I enjoyed putting that video together for Greg in the club. It was brought back memories from a few years ago when I used to do that all the time. But I wanted to give you guys something and recognize you for your dedication to the season. And when you're in the top 20 of 136 member club, you're doing well. Appreciate Mark, Greg, and Jody for their insight, their knowledge, and their wisdom, and their patience with me to come on the show when I grill them and ask them questions, and of course give them a hard time. But anyway, we'll possibly see you here again next Tuesday, same time, same place. As you can see, let me get back to the right page here. I'm here at the beautiful Tractor Barn Grill in the Brownstone Room. Make sure you go to the Brownstone Room page and check that out. Thanks again, guys. Be safe. God bless you. And I look forward to hearing from all of you.